Good morning to all. Sorry, in last class we done few physical quantities, that to derived quantities, dimensional formula. We proved it. About 10, 11 we got the dimensional formula for the some derived quantities. So other than these, there are many such derived physical quantities. They are having a different dimensional formula. And as you know it, as I was explaining in the last classes, the dimensional formulas, they are very useful in case of whether the equation is correct, the given formula is correct, whether it is having the proper unit, how to find out the unit, and how to convert one system of unit into the another system. That is very useful by knowing the dimensional formula. Now today we will discuss few more points about the dimensions. So here one of the important principle in case of a dimensions we have, which we will call it as a principle of homogeneity. Here we have principle of homogeneity. Principle of homogeneity. And this principle of homogeneity, it will be states that if there is any dimensional formula for a given equation in which the dimensions of the equation which has the two sides, one is the left hand side and another is right hand side. So for example, here I will write one of the equation here, v equal to u plus at. Then we are going to writing, as we know, velocity is the one derived quantity which has a dimension. Second one is the u is the velocity again, at is the acceleration, a is the acceleration and t is the time. If you go for the dimension of this part and dimension of this part, which we will go for, this is LHS dimensional formula and RHS dimensional formula. If you go to find out the dimensional formula, and that dimensional formula must be same on both sides of that equation. On both sides of that equation, the dimensional formula must be same. They should be dimensionally same. That is the one case. And another case is, whenever we are going to writing the units of such quantities, for example velocity, we have the SI unit, that is meter per second, and here we have again velocity. Here also we have to write again meter per second. You don't mention as one is the CGS system and another is the FPS system. That should be on either side. It should be same system of unit. Similarly, on both sides, the LHS quantity and RHS quantities, they must have a same dimension. So that is what actually the principle of homogeneity is. So therefore here the dimensions of all the terms of two sides of the dimensions of all the dimensions of all the terms of all the terms of two sides, all the terms of two sides of a dimensional equation. Two sides of a dimensional equation. Two sides of dimensional equation. Two sides of dimensional equation must be the same. Must be the same. This is what we will call it as, is called principle of homogeneity. So better to see here the dimensions of all the terms of two sides of a dimensional equation. Two sides of the dimensional equation, they must have the same dimension. They must have the same. Means the dimensions of, for example here, equation is v equal to u plus at, and v is the dimension, that is lt raised to minus 1, whereas this u plus at, here u is again lt raised to minus 1, plus whereas a is acceleration, which we have lt raised to minus 2, and t is again t1. So therefore here lt raised to minus 1 plus lt raised to minus 1. Because of here minus 1 plus 1 bases are same, indices can be added. Now the result will be here lt raised to minus 1, 1 plus 1, that is what we will get, 1 plus 1 is 2, which is constant. So hence we will get the dimension of LHS, we got it lt raised to minus 1, whereas RHS we got it again lt raised to minus 1. So hence the dimensions of either side must be same. So it should be like that. Then what the equation we got it, that should be correct. So hence this principle, it will be proved that the given equation, whether it is dimensionally correct or not. Adukka dimensional equations of LHS and RHS, both the sides of dimensional formula, the dimensions must be same. So which we will call it as a principle of homogeneity. Not only this principle of homogeneity, it will be gives about the dimensions of both sides must be same. Adu onde alla, adar jotege for along that we also must to know the quantities whenever we are going to measuring. Whenever we are going to measuring the quantities, such as velocity is there, acceleration is there, time is there. How measurement model time nalli, other the system of unit is also we have to use same type of system of unit. That means this principle of homogeneity will be states that the units of the given terms, of two sides of the equation, must be same. The units, the system of units of either sides of a given equation. The system of units of either side of a given equation must be same. This is also what we will call it as a principle of homogeneity. One on either side of the dimensional formula, the dimensions must be same agirbeku, or another way, the system of units on either side of the given equation must be same agirbeku. That is what here principle of homogeneity. Is it clear about the principle of homogeneity? Now better to see here, in case of these dimensions and dimensional formula, there are uses of dimensional formula. Uses of dimensional formula or dimensional equation. In case of these uses, or sometimes you will also call it as applications. So here the important uses of these dimensional formula. For example, one is the equation, whether the given equation, whether it is dimensionally correct or not. Given equation dimensionally correct ada illa anta annod check ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ first the use of the dimensional equation is to check the correctness of a given equation. To check the correctness of a given equation. To check the correctness of a given equation, whether it is dimensionally correct or not. For example, here we have the equation s equal to ut plus half at square. Now here s is the displacement, and here LHS we have s is the displacement, and displacement dimension, as I told, length, height, breadth, displacement, distance traveled, radius, diameter, these all are taken as a length. So therefore here displacement dimension is L raised to 1. Now here we will go RHS. In case of a RHS, what we have, ut plus half at square. Now this u is velocity L t raised to minus 1, t is the time, again t raised to plus 1, plus 1 by 2, a is L t raised to minus 2, and t raised to t square is t raised to plus 2. As you know it, this is minus 1, this one plus 1, both will be cancelled. Powers nalli one positive, one negative ittu, ಎರಡು same values iddu, bases same ittu andra, if you want you can directly cancel it. So here we will get L plus 1 by 2 L equal to L 1 plus 1 by 2, and this 1 plus 1 by 2 is constant which has no dimension, so the resultant dimension for RHS will be L. So hence here LHS dimension is L and RHS dimension is also L. So dimensional formula we used, and we shown that RHS and LHS will be same, dimensionally same, hence this equation is dimensionally correct anta ಕರೀತೀವಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ one of the use is to check the correctness of a given equation. Second point, second use is to derive the relation between a quantity. To derive the equation, to derive the relation, to derive the relation between to derive the relation between a quantity, between a quantity and other quantities, on which it is known to be dependent, So here we can able to find out the relation between one quantity with the another quantities, on which that quantity will be dependent. For example, as you may be learned in case of a previous classes, whenever the pendulum bob is going to oscillating, then there you are going to measuring the time period. There you are going to measuring the time period of that oscillation of a simple pendulum. During that case, this time period of a simple pendulum, it will be depends on the length of the simple pendulum. It will be depends on the length of the simple pendulum, and another it will be depends on the acceleration due to gravity. Another quantity is what? It will be depends on acceleration due to gravity. So therefore here we can able to find out how this time period, it will be depends on the length of the simple pendulum and it will be depends on the acceleration due to gravity. That relation we can able to find out by using the dimensional analysis or by using the dimensional formula. ಆ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ತಗೊಂಡು ಟೈಮ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಟಿ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸಲರೇಷನ್ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ಗ್ರಾವಿಟಿ. ಅದು ಹೆಂಗೆ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಇರ್ತದ ಅಂತ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಡಿಟರ್ಮೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದನ್ನು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಬೈ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನಲ್ formula. For example, here you are going to getting time period t equal to 2 pi root of L by G. And the time period could be directly proportional to root of length and inversely proportional to root of acceleration due to gravity. This is constant. The actual relation we are going to writing t proportional to root of L by G. ಇದು ರಿಲೇಷನ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಬೈ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನಲ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಆರ್ ಬೈ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನಲ್ equations or by using the dimensional formula. And one more is here, the another use is these dimensional equations or dimensional formula, they helps to derive the relation between different units, to derive the relation between different units, different units of a physical quantity, to derive the different units of a physical quantity. The third use is we have to find out or derive the relation between units of different physical quantities. For example, here one is the physical quantity, that is what the force is there, which we are going to measuring in terms of Newton. In terms of what? Newton is the SI unit of force, and this force we have to go for in different units or in different units of system. For example, in case of a CGS system, what is the unit of force? And that unit of force in CGS system, that is dyne will be there. Dyne anta irtada, the unit of force in CGS system. How this Newton and dyne will be related? How it will be related? Newton ಮತ್ತು dyne, how it will be related? That we are going to find in here by using the dimensional formula. For example, here you are going to getting after, I will give you one of the question in the after this finishing the topic. 1 Newton we are going to showing that 10 raised to 5 dynes. 1 Newton ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇರ್ತದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ? 10 raised to 5 dynes ಅಂತ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ? How we have to calculate? For that purpose we are going to using the dimensional formula. ಅದು dimensional formula use ಮಾಡಿ ನಾವು find out ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. This is one of the few uses of dimensional formula. One is to check the correctness of a given equation. That too we are going to checking dimensionally. And check ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದು to check the correctness of equation, given equation dimensionally. Dimensionally ಅಷ್ಟೇ check ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Dimensionally to check the correctness of equation dimensionally. And second one, to derive the relation between a quantity and the other quantities on which it is to be known. ಯಾವ್ದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತದ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ we can able to find out the relation between one quantity with the another. For example, here time period of a simple pendulum, it will be depends on length and acceleration due to gravity. After the using the dimensional formula, we will get T is proportional to square root of L by G. Therefore, that problem will be there. Then later, third one is to derive the relation between different units of a physical quantities. Different units, as you know it, in case of a basic, there are three types of units will be there. That is what CGS system, FPS system and MK system. Here Newton is the unit of force in SI system or MK system. Newton is the unit of force in SI system or in MK system. Whereas the dyne is the unit of force in CGS system. How it will be related? 1 Newton equal to how many dynes? That relation we are going to finding by using dimensional formula. Now here there are some limitations. That means the dimensional formula it will not be satisfied in all the cases. So therefore here we will write it limitations of dimensional analysis. Limitations of dimensional analysis. So here the value of constants of proportionality. The value of constants of proportionality. One is the value of constant of proportionality. The value of constant of proportionality cannot be determined. Proportionality constant, its value cannot be determined by using the dimensional analysis or by the study of dimensional formulas. For example, now only Egerton and Bavida, time period T is proportional to root of L by G. It will be depends on length and G. But whenever you are going to using the exact formula to calculate the time period of a simple pendulum, whenever it is oscillating, so during that case actual formula will be T equal to 2 pi root of L by G. And this 2 pi is the proportionality constant. And that proportionality constant value cannot be determined by using this dimensional formulas, by using the dimensional equations. Dimensional equations ತಗೊಂಡು ಅದು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಗ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ ಏನದ, ದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನಾಲಿಟಿ cannot be determined. This is the one limitation. The second limitation is here the relation for a physical quantity cannot be determined. The relation for a physical quantity, the relation for a physical quantity cannot be determined. If the number of quantities, if the number of quantities on which depends is greater than the number of fundamental, number of fundamental units, fundamental units involved. involved. So here is the relation for a physical quantity cannot be determined. The quantity which depends on a number of quantities on which it will be depends. ಕೆಲವೊಂದು quantities ಅದಾವ. For example, length, mass and time are the fundamental quantities. And the units of those quantities as we know it, the length is measured in meter, time is measured in seconds and mass is measured in kilogram. But the given equation will be involved and that it will be involved more than 3 fundamental quantities. More than 3 fundamental, fourth one quantity ಇರ್ತದಲ್ಲಿ. But that fourth quantity unit we don't know, which is not mentioned in the fundamental units. Another quantity, for example, here 3 quantities generally as you know it. But fourth quantity ಒಂದೊಂದು ಸಲ ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ ಫಿಸಿಕಲ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿ. ಬಟ್ ಆ ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಿಟಿದು ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿರಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಫಂಡಮೆಂಟಲ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿರಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ ಸಚ್ ಕೇಸಸ್ the dimensional equations cannot help to find the relation for such quantities. As we know here, in case of a mechanics, we have the 3 fundamental quantities, length, mass, time, and there are 3 fundamental units. For example, in MKS system, kg, meter and second will be there, but the given quantity will depends on more than those 3 fundamental units. The given quantity, if it will be, depends on more than those 3 fundamental units. In such cases, it is not useful to find the relation for such quantities by using dimensional formula. And one more is there here, and this another point, the relation cannot be obtained if the dimensional constant, the relation cannot be obtained. Relation cannot be obtained if the dimensional constant, dimensional constant whose nature is not known, whose nature is not known. The relation cannot be obtained if the dimensional constant, its nature, if it is not known, then it is not possible to find out the relation for such quantities. Nature is not known. For example, you are going for the second PUC, there is a one relation will be there. Say that relation here we will go for, that is the force F equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught epsilon r into Q1 Q2 divided by, for example, r square will be there. And here this epsilon naught is the constant. Epsilon r is also constant. If the nature of these quantities is not known, ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅದು ನೇಚರ್ ಏನದ ಅಂತ, ಅದು ಯಾವುದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಅದ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವುದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಅದ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ಸಚ್ ಕೇಸಸ್, this dimensional formula, it will not help us to find out the relation for such quantities. And these are the 3 limitations, 3 uses. One is to check the correctness of a given equation, whether it is dimensionally correct or wrong. Second one is to derive the relation between a quantity and the other quantities on which it is known to be dependent. As I told here, the time period depends on length time, acceleration due to gravity. How it will be related? This relation we are going to finding by using the dimensional equations. The third is to derive the relation between different units of a physical quantity. The physical quantity, for example, as I told now, force is one physical quantity. Its unit is Newton in case of a MKS or SI system. Whereas in case of a CGS system, the unit is dyne is there. And how the Newton and dyne that it will be related, That we are going to finding using this dimensional equation. As I told, 1 Newton equal to 10 raised to 5 dynes. Similarly, 1 joule of energy is equal to 10 raised to 7 earths. That also we have to find out. 1 HP. HP is the horsepower. Horsepower is the unit of power in FPS system. And 1 HP equal to how many watts? That also we can able to prove by using this divider relation between different units of a physical quantity. These dimensional formulas, they are in some cases they are not useful. That means they have some limitations. And the limitations are the value of constant of proportionality cannot be determined. As I told, actually T is length times G. It will be depends on time period depends on L and G. So therefore finally we will get T proportional to root of L by G. But actual formula is T equal to 2 pi root of L by G. But this 2 pi is the proportionality constant. And that proportionality constant cannot be obtained, cannot be determined by using this dimensional formula. The relation for a physical quantity cannot be determined if the number of quantities on which it is depends is greater than. If the given quantity it will be depends on 4 quantities. One derived quantity, it will be depends on 4 quantities. But we have only the 3 fundamental units. We have only the 3 fundamental units. But it will be depends on 4 quantities. In such cases, it is not possible to find the relation for such physical quantities which depends on 4, but we have the fundamental units are only 3 will be there. One way after it is cannot be determined. Suppose for example 4 quantity dependent away. But we have the 4 fundamental units iddu number then also we can able to find out. Only 4 only 3 but quantities depends on 4 many. In such cases we cannot able to find out the such relations. And lastly, the relation cannot be obtained if the dimensional constant whose nature is not known. Here F is the force, Q1, Q2 is the charge, R is the distance. So this we have to check dimensionally whether it is right or wrong. And this is possible whenever we know the nature of these constants. The constants nature ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವಾಗ ನಾವು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. So this is what the limitations of dimensional form. Now after this, next we are going to finding here how to measure the distance of the objects. How to measure the distance of the objects actually which are very very far away. That means measurement of the distant objects. So there are different methods will be there to measure the distance of the distant objects. Distance of distant objects. How to measure the distance of distant objects? Andra, for example, to measure the distance of the planets. For example, here, how to measure the distance of planets. Planets distance, ಗ್ರಹಗಳು ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಆ ಗ್ರಹಗಳ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಗ್ ಮೆಜರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಹೌ ಟು ಮೆಜರ್ ಇಟ್, ಅದು ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಯ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಮೆಥಡ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಈಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ಪ್ಯಾರಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಮೆಥಡ್. Parallax method. And this parallax method is one of the system, one of the way to measure the distance of the planet. As you was known, the planet is very very far away. then in such cases it is difficult to measure the distance by using the meter scale. ಇದೇ ಅರ್ತ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದೂರ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರ ಮೀಟರ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಅಥವಾ ಟೇಪ್ ಅಂತ ಇರ್ತದ, ಮೆಜರಿಂಗ್ ಟೇಪ್ ಅಂತ ಇರ್ತದ, ಅದನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ನೀವು ಮೆಜರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. ಇಲ್ಲೊಬ್ಬರು ನಿಂತಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದು ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೊಬ್ಬರು ನಿಂತು ಬಿಡ್ತದ, ದೆನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಮೆಜರಿಂಗ್. ಅದು ಮೆಜರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಅದು ಫೈನೈಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್, ನಿಯರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಮೆಜರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ವೆರಿ ಫಾರ್ ಅವೇ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಟು ಮೆಜರ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸಚ್ ಕೇಸಸ್ here we are going to using the parallax method. ಈ ಪ್ಯಾರಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ನಾವು ಮೆಜರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಯ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರ ಒಂದು ಮೆಥಡ್, ಒಂದು ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಏನಿರ್ತದ ಅಂತಂದ್ರ, ಸೇ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವಿಂಗ್ ದ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ವೆರಿ ಫಾರ್ ಅವೇ. ಇದು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇದು ಪ್ಲಾನೆಟ್ ಅದ. ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಏನು? ಪ್ಲಾನೆಟ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಪ್ಲಾನೆಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅರ್ತ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ವಿ ಆರ್ ಆನ್ ದಿ ಅರ್ತ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಈಗ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಮೆಜರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಅದು ಹೌ ಟು ಮೆಜರ್ ಇಟ್. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಪರ್ಪೋಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಐದಿಂದ ಈಗ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಪೆನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಕು ಅಥವಾ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಚಾಕ್ ಪೀಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟಿಗೆ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಹಿಂಗೆ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ನಾವು ಒನ್ ಐದಿಂದ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ನೋಡೋದು, ಈ ಎಂಡಿಗೆ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡೋ ಟೈಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬೈ ಕ್ಲೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಐ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಐ. ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ದ ರೈಟ್ ಐ. ಇಲ್ಲದ ನಿಮ್ದು ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಐ. ಸೇ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಎ, ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ದೆನ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ದಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ. ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಎ. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಟ್ ನಿಮ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್, ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಫೋಕಸ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆರ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟು ದಟ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್. ಆ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಈ ಎಂಡಿಗೆ ನೀವೇನು ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಯಾವ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತೀವಿ ಆ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ನೀವು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು close the left eye and then better to observe by using the right eye. Right eye ದಿಂದ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು by closing left eye. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅದ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆದಂಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತದ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಸ್ ಬಿ. ಅದು ಬಿ ಅಂತ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಅಥವಾ ರೈಟ್ ಐದಿಂದ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಈ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತದ, ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಐದಿಂದ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಈ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತದೆ. So now you have to join this. ಇದು ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಇದು ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಡಿ, ಇದೂನು ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಡಿ. So now this it will be actually distance between two eyes. ಅದು ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಅದು ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಟೂ ಐಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. And whereas this is the angle subtended by the two eyes at the object. ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಟೂ ಐಸ್ ಹಿಂಗೆ ರೇಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾವ, ಹಿಂಗೆ ನಾವು ಮೆಜರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ದೇರ್ ದ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಸಬ್ಟೆಂಡೆಡ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಥೀಟಾ. ಇದು ಈ ತರ, ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ವೇ ಟು ಮೆಜರ್. ಸೊ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೇಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ನೋನ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ನೋನ್ ಇರ್ತದ. ಇದು ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರ ದೆನ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಮೆಜರ್ ದ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಸಬ್ಟೆಂಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ ದಟ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಥೀಟಾ. ಅದು ಥೀಟಾ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್. ಅದು ಥೀಟಾ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ನಂತರ, ಥೀಟಾ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದ ನಂತರ, ಇದು ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದ ನಂತರ, ದೆನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ಟ್ರಿಗ್ನೋಮೆಟ್ರಿಕ್ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ಸ್, ಟ್ರಿಗ್ನೋಮೆಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಸಚ್ ಆಸ್ ಸೈನ್ ಥೀಟಾ, ಕಾಸ್ ಥೀಟಾ, ಟ್ಯಾನ್ ಥೀಟಾ, ಅಂಡ್ ಯು ನೋ ದ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಆಫ್ ದೋಸ್. ಸೈನ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಬೈ hypotenuse, tan theta equal to opposite by adjacent. ಅಂತ ರಿಲೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಮೆಜರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್. ದಿಸ್ ಡಿ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಮೆಜರಿಂಗ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ಯಾರಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ದಟ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಪ್ಯಾರಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಮೆಥಡ್. ದೆನ್ ಹೌ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ನೋಡ್ ಅದನ್ನ, ಆ ಪ್ಯಾರಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಗ್ ಮೆಜರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ here is the, for example you are going to taking this is as a earth. Now we are standing at this position, at A position, And from the earth, there is a very far away, there is a one object. ಬಹಳ ದೂರ ಮೇಲಿನ ಒಂದು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್. ಹಿಯರ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್. ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಫಾರ್ ಅವೇ ಅಂತ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಇದು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಓ. ಓ ಈಸ್ ದ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್, ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲಾನಿಂಗ್. ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಪ್ಲಾನಿಂಗ್. Now by using the optical instrument ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತದೆ. For example, the optical instrument which helps to see the very far object. Such optical instrument we will call it as a telescope ಅಂತ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಈಗ ಆ ಟೆಲಿಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಈ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿನ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಈ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿಗೆ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. We have to observe that object. And this, after observing, better to join that. A line join ಮಾಡಿ. ಇದನ್ನೇ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಡಿ ಅಂತ. Whenever you join that object to the point A from where you are going to observing, ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಅದೊಂದು ಲೈನ್ ಜಾಯಿನ್. That itself we will take it as a distance D ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, exact distance. Then later keep the telescope in the same direction. Telescope ಹಿಂಗೆ ರೊಟೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಹಿಂಗೆ ರೊಟೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ. ಈಗ ಈ ತರ ರೊಟೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಈ ತರ ರೊಟೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಕ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಟೆಲಿಸ್ಕೋಪಿಗೆ. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಈ ತರ ಈ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು, ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನು ರೊಟೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟಿಗೆ ಆ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿಗೆ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. Then after that keep this without disturbing the telescope. Bring the telescope on the another position of the earth. Earth is ಇನ್ನೊಂದು position member. For example, B position. B position ಬಂದಾಗ again you have to focus to this. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಅದೇ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಅದು ಲೈನ್ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಇದು ಡಿ, ಇದು ಡಿ ಆದ ನಂತರ ಇವೆರಡು ಲೈನ್ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ನಂತರ ಈ ಓ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. And that angle we will call it as parallax angle ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. That is what we will call it as a parallax angle or parallactic angle. Do you know? Parallax angle or parallactic angle. Okay. ಇದು ಆಂಗಲ್ ನಾವು ಬೈ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಟೆಲಿಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಗ್ ಯಾವ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ನಾವು ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಇನ್ ವಾಟ್ ಆಂಗಲ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಇನ್ ವಾಟ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಮೂವಿಂಗ್, ಅದು ಮೂವಿಂಗ್ ಆಗೋದು ಆಂಗಲ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೆಜರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ಟು ಡಿಟರ್ಮೈನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಡಿಟರ್ಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಬಂತು. ಅಂಡ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಯು ಚೇಂಜ್ ದ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ಸ್. ಎ ದಿಂದ ಬಿ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಎ ದಿಂದ ಬಿ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆನ್ ದ ಅರ್ತ್. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಮೆಜರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಈ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನೀವು ಮೆಜರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿ ಅಂತ ಮೆಜರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡಿ ಒಂದು ಮೆಜರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತದ ಅಂಡ್ ಥೀಟಾ ಒಂದು ಮೆಜರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತದ. ಬೇಕೆಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ವೇರ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವಿಂಗ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ your theta angle, this is, if you want you can go for on the perpendicular line ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ OA is very large distance and OB is also very long distance, whereas the point O is very far away ಇರ್ತದ. ಅವಾಗ ಇವೆರಡು ನಡುವಿನ ಆಂಗಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ very small angle ಇರ್ತದೆ. During that case trigonometric formula use ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ tan theta equal to opposite by adjacent. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಶುವಲಿ 90 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಅಂತ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ ಯಾಕ OA and OB are parallel rays. ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಆಂಗಲ್ ಥೀಟಾ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಇದು ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ 90 ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅವಾಗ tan theta ತಗೊಂಡ್ವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ as you know it in case of mathematics tan theta equal to opposite by adjacent. And here AB is opposite, ಇದು AB opposite divided by adjacent ಅಂದ್ರೆ 90 degree opposite, that is what capital D. ಇದು ಯಾವುದು OA. And if theta is very small, tan theta can be written as theta ಅಂತ ಬರೀತೀವಿ. If theta is very small, tan theta can be written as theta ಅಂತ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Here AB is small d and OA is capital D. So therefore capital D equal to D divided by theta. This is the relation to find out the distance of the object which is very far away. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಇದು? How to measure the distance of the far objects. Okay, thank you. Next we'll continue in the next class.